Brooke, I am making a video. I can't believe it. I don't even remember how. But I did think it would be fun to make a folio style December daily. It's what I made for myself this year. And they're super easy and fun to make. So I thought I'd bring you along with me. I do want to say that originally I had seen this style of journal making on G. Kerr's YouTube channel. And of course, she'll be linked below. And then my darling friend Diane Shaw at Shawcraft1 also made a different version on her channel. And I'll link her down there too. But this is my take on it, and I just think it's super fun. So let's go. See if I can remember how to do this. And thank you, G, for the fabulous idea, as always. If you guys are not subscribed to her, definitely check her out because she's a baby genius. Okay, so yeah, the lighting is bad. I'm sorry, we still haven't moved. So it's what I got. And the tripod wiggles. Yay! All right, so what the base of your journal will be is just a manila envelope. This one is 13 by 10, but you can certainly use any old envelope you want to, or that you have on hand. And this one was this crazy orangey brown color, so I just slapped some gesso on because I wasn't sure what I was going to do to cover it. So I was binge watching videos trying to catch up and gessoing my envelope. So first thing that we're going to do, this is going to be the cover of our journal. So I pulled out, I did this before I started recording. This is that painter's masking paper, and it's really loud and crinkly. And so I cut it down and crinkled it so that you didn't have to have your ear blown off your head. You're welcome. So I just trimmed it down to be slightly larger than our envelope. And this is a great project if you have leftovers from Christmas packs that you bought or Christmas paper pads. This one actually is, oh, it's Blue Fern Studio. No wonder I love it. And I used this for journals a couple years ago and only had scraps left. I had one full sheet, so I better get it right the first time. You only need one full sheet of 12 by 12. And then the little scraps will be great on the pages and stuff. So that's the other thing you need, is a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, if you choose to make it this way. And the last thing that we need is a piece of fabric. So I pulled out my Christmas fabric bin, which is getting low. A lot of these are tiny, tiny pieces. So we just need a piece to go on. I just wanted to put fabric on the cover for fun. And wow, the lighting is so bad, you guys really can't see. I'm sorry. Oh, I like this one. Everything else looks bright, but I love that. This is like a dark green. Oh, that's a little bit better. And there's another piece, a smaller piece. So I'm going to pull those out and we'll just put this aside because I like the swirly doos on it and I like the color. Wouldn't it be handy if this was just, oh my goodness. That is handy. It's a little narrow, but I can live with it, and it's just exactly the right length. It's kind of wrinkled. I would recommend ironing. However, my iron is packed. So this will be fine. We'll mash it flat, that technical term. And it's the smaller piece, so I still have a big piece left. Hurrah. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to, this is the inside where your flap, or your opening in your flap is. First thing I'm going to do is glue the envelope shut. You could leave it open and have another pocket if you choose to. I just don't. I just don't choose to. So I'm just putting a little bit of my art glitter glue in there, that wondrous stuff. Put that aside. Give that a good press. Okay, and I'll show you how we're going to open. We're going to open up this end for our journal, and that will be in a couple steps. So we are going to, I think I'm going to go ahead and use matte medium for this. And the first thing I'm going to do is take off the sticky. I don't trust that for anything, but hey, it'll be extra. It'll be extra stick for us. Probably should have put something down on my mat, huh? There, got my matte medium. I'm using golden because it's what I have and I like it. And we're just gonna cover the whole inside of our journal with matte medium. And then I think I'll wrap it up like a package. So I'm just using the paper as my mat. Save a step, what the heck. And later on, as we go, am I in camera? There we go. I really do forget how to make videos, gosh. As we finish making this journal, we will decide if we want to do anything else on the inside, but this paper will add a layer of sturdiness and it will also cover up the funky color. Usually I have white envelopes and I can't find them. I don't know if I pack them someplace or if I'm out. I don't know what the deal is. So better get crack-a-lack in here because this is going to dry. And I do want to make sure I'm getting good coverage. We want our paper to stick, especially along the edges, because we're going to wrap it, as I said, like a package. Okay, so now we'll turn this over, and I'm just going to line it up towards the edge. Well, that's not very straight at all, is it? Luckily, there's no pattern on the paper, so we'll be fine. Give this a good press. I'm going to turn it over and press it on the inside. The only reason I crumpled it up is because I like how it looks. That is completely optional. Looks like we missed some right in here. Oh, looks like we missed a lot. Let's just go back in with our matte medium. I forget how to craft. I forget how to make videos. I need to get with the program. So we'll just make sure we get good coverage in there. I don't recommend doing this without your silicone mat underneath, but I'll just go in and clean it up after. Okay, so there we go. Our inside of our journal is covered with this beautiful crinkly paper, and I love it. So then we're going to go on the outside, and we are going to, again, wrap it like a Christmas package. Just go up across the top, get some on the paper. And this step is just to cover the edge of the envelope so it doesn't show. Again, totally optional. And I'm making a giant mess, shame on me. And then we'll do the same on the bottom. Let me grab my handy dandy scraper. And we'll do it here. My glue brush is so big and swollen with glue. It is the only brush that I keep in water all the time. And I use an old paintbrush when it's lost its paintiness. I go ahead and turn it into a glue brush. And it just lives in the water all the time. Not recommended for good brushes, by the way. I keep trying to scoot down. Okay, so we'll give this one a match. This end does not matter because we're going to be chopping it off. This end, I could have been a little more generous with what was left. Maybe we'll just go ahead and trim that too. Do we want to? No, I don't think I want to. I think I want to fold it up. On camera, there we go. Let's see if we can get it folded and glued. Trying to decide what I want to do. I think we're pretty close on the fabric, so the size of the fabric versus the size of the cover. So we'll just turn this under and see where we are. We can get that fastened down. scintillating, isn't it? Would have been easier had I left a little bit, you know, scooted the paper this way more. Wouldn't have been such a tiny little area to work with, but I think we've made it. Put a little more matte medium in there. Get it smooshed down. This paper is very, very thin, and it's great for a ton of stuff. Plus, it's cheap as can be at Home Depot. Someone was telling me that it comes in, I've actually seen pinks and greens and a different color brown, but this is the one I have, and I like it. Haven't seen the other ones. Okay, I did not cover the paper on the inside because I'm not sure where we're going with it yet. Didn't cover it with matte medium yet, which is just fine. Just want to get the bones down. I don't usually finish my cover until the very end because I'm messy and I would tend to do something goofy with it. So I just do whatever I have to do for the construction of the journal before I do the insides of it, and then I usually do the cover last, if that makes one bit of sense. Just giving this a final scrape. All right, so now I'm going to get out my big old chopper. And again, this is the end of the envelope that has the flap on it. This is the one that is the bottom of the envelope that's sealed. So we're just going to take our chopper, put it up here, not try to jiggle you about too much. And I'm gonna chop off the excess paper. If I can get it in there, there we go. And just the tiniest little sliver of the envelope. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch, just enough to open it up. Oop, didn't like it. The matte medium was still a little damp, but that's okay. We can give it a haircut with our scissors. Don't watch, Elle. Elizabeth hates when I go all willy-nilly with the scissors. Okay, so let's just trim this little bit off. There we go. Perfect. It wasn't too bad, Elizabeth. I hope you're clapping right now. Okay, so now we have this. This is our inside. Actually, this is our inside with our flap on our right. And this is the outside of the journal. So I am going to go ahead also and put our fabric down. And look at that, it will cover. Need to take a little bit off this end, which we can do. And, oops, went a little far, but that is okay because we can cover it. I do want it right up to the edge on this side though, on the right. So, thinking, do we want to matte medium or, I think we'll Fabri-Tac. Let's Fabri-Tac, people. Let's just have some Fabri-Tac. See if we can get it going. Getting kind of low. And this is going to be a lot of Fabri-Tac we need. Let me scoot over. That's a lot better for you to see. Okay. I think it's working its way down. There we go. I want to make sure to get right up to the edge, and I'm going to be generous with it because being the cover of the journal, it'll get some use. I did leave it all torn and fuzzy on the edges. I really like how that looks. So again, totally up to you, whatever you like. And this will work with any old envelope. Oh no, I'm gluing myself. This could be an abrupt ending when I completely glue myself to the fabric. Any kind of envelope would work for this, or you could just use, regular cardstock and not have the pocket. Totally up to you. All right, well, this is going to take 2 hands now. Lots and lots of Fabri-Tac. It's getting really thick. I suspect this might be a bottle that went on the road show with us. It might be past its prime. I can't even imagine how hot it got in the back of that U-Haul where all our stuff was. When we were in Texas, it was 100 plus every day. So I can't imagine what it was like inside a metal U-Haul. It's a miracle anything came back at all. I'm gonna go ahead and cap up my Fabri-Tac so we don't have a volcano. Get the glue, the sticky off my finger so we don't have another episode. Well, at least of that nature. Okay, I'm gonna turn it this way so I can get really close up to the edge. Really want to make sure. Straighten it up before I do any pressing out. Okay, I'm going to press with my hands first, and then we'll go in with our scrapey card. All those wrinkles out. Look, it's better than ironing. We don't need no stinking iron. Ooh, I love that fabric. I am so happy that we found that. Had a little bit of glue seepage up here, but that's okay. Probably end up covering that with something anyway. Loving it. Let's do some scraping and smushing. Oop, we smushed some wrinkles into it. That's no good. That's not the objective. Okay, guess we'll just go back to making sure it's pressed down with our hands. Didn't seem to like the old credit card. Okay, so now we have at least the basis of our outside. I'm quite certain it'll end up getting decorated more, but we can go ahead now with what we have done and finish the construction part. So I am going to give this a shot with the heat gun, and you probably don't need to listen to the heat gun, so stay right there. I'll be right back after I dry it. So that was fun. Very exciting, you know, drying. Just because of the matte medium and the Fabri-Tac, the envelope was starting to get kind of wet and mushy, and I didn't want to do a whole bunch of manipulating while it was that wet. So now we have this, and we have our little flap. I'm going to go back and reinforce the original flap on the envelope, so you can still see where the envelope was. This is the top, and we just trimmed off the bottom here. Okay, so that is a good crease that we need right there. There's my bone folder. Here we go. Okay, so then what we're going to do is take our folder, or our envelope rather. Let's see if I can get this where you can see. And we're just going to fold it over towards the flap, leaving a little bit of a gap so that it closes nicely, and we're just going to fold it in half. Okay, did it on the outside, now we're going to do it on the inside. Just making sure we get those creases good and strong. Get it nice and lined up. Make sure bottom is lined up too. And I'm just kind of pushing it and pushing it because we've got a couple layers there. So I'm gonna use my bone folder again. Okay. And we do have our flap that we need to cover up, but that's not a problem. So what you have is this adorable little folder, just like we make every envelope journal. Okay, and you've got a pocket in there and a little flap where you can you know, put a closure and tie it off. But we're going to take it one more step. Okay, so this is where our scrapbook paper comes in. And we've got this beautiful vintage Christmas too, as I said. Loved this paper. Wish I had 10 more packs. And we're going to cut it down to be the same height as our envelope. So what did we say this was? 10 inches. So we've got to cut off two. First we'll cut off the little strip at the bottom. And I want to keep Santa, so I think we're going to lop off the top. Oop, didn't do that very well. Let's try it again. Can't even cut straight with a paper trimmer. What does that tell you? So we'll go over here and take the 2 inches off the top. So I'm lining up at 10. And that will make a beautiful strip to use as a pocket or something in our journal. Okay, put this back out of the way. Even the backs of these, isn't that gorgeous? Love this paper. Okay, so here we go. So we have our scrapbook paper that's 12 inches wide and 10 inches high. Get our little folder back over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a folio that's going to attach to this flap and lay towards the back of our journal. Okay, so we have to decide which side we want to be the outside and which we want to be the inside. And I think Santa is going to be the outside. Will that work out right? We won't be folding Santa up. Nope, we'll be good. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get our cardstock lined up, and we have to do some marking and scoring. My scoreboard also is packed. Wow, I'm super prepared, aren't I? Super. All right, so where's my pencil and my ruler? That'll be fine. So let me scoot this back under. So we want to go 1 1/4 from the right-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to make a little mark. Actually, I don't think I even need to make a mark. We can just score it. Make sure I've got 1 1/4 there. And then we're going to go over another 1 1/4, so we'll be at 2 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing my mathing out loud. So is that? Yeah, 2 1/2. That's right. So our second score is also right there. Another 1 1/4 in. All right, so let's go ahead and fold those and see how it's looking. Oh. My pencil's got a mind of its own. This paper is so nice and heavy. The bone folder. Okay, there's our first fold. And here's our second fold. We're going to bring over our envelope, and we're going to line the bottom and the top up and line the edge of the flap right into that first fold. Just kind of tuck it right in there. Make sure you get in there good and tight, keeping everything straight. Okay, so that's where I want it. That's my final decision. Oh, we don't have to. That's right. Yay. I confused myself. We don't have to worry about that flap. Okay. Waiting for the Fabri-Tac again. Just waiting on the Fabri-Tac. Yep. Waiting on the Fabri-Tac. It's having none of it. It's not empty. I can see it in there. There we go. And again, want to be nice and generous with it. Boy, is it snotty, frankly. I don't know another word to use for it. So thick. Okay, back to it. Getting up to the edges. There we go. I want to make sure this is a good tight bond. Put the lid back on. Cranky old glue. Just rechecking, making sure I've got it all lined up at the top and the bottom. Okay. And there it is. Oh good, we have a little wiggle room with Fabri-Tac. Mashing that down. Oop, went a little too far. That's okay, we can still scoot it. We can still scoot it. So I'm trying to get the top of this flap right to the fold, and I must have moved it a little bit. But that's okay. Good old Fabri-Tac gives us a minute. And then what's going to happen is we're going to bring this one over like that. Okay, so we've got this part of our envelope, the flap, glued down in between the first and the second scores, the first and second scores. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we'll grab our Fabri-Tac again. And we're going to glue this flap down. All right, really? I'm going to have to break down and get new Fabri-Tac, aren't I? I know the rule is nothing comes in the house till we move, but I don't think glue counts, do you? Pretty sure. Glue is exempt from that rule. It's kind of important to have glue when you're a crafter, huh? Okay. Put that on the side and see if that helps some. Then we'll fold this over. Oh, I'm so excited. I love how this looks. Okay, and then that is going to fold over like so. So that will be the closure of your journal. It'll open like this. We're going to sew our signature in here, and you have a fun pocket in there to hold goodies. But wait for it, on the back side, you can fold this up just wherever you want. You can make it, smaller than this. You can make it the same size. It is totally up to you. Okay, so we've got the spine right there, or the fold right there. And our little folio is right there on the back. Look at that. Okay, so here you go. That is the basic mechanics of a folio journal. So we've got, I might very well sew a piece of lace or something on here to make it wider, because my journals tend to get fat. You know how I am. And so there is the inside again with your pocket. And then when you turn it over, you have this lovely folio where you could sew in another signature, put in pockets. I've been keeping my goodies for my journal, my December daily, in mine. But there are a ton of different ways that you can use that. And then it all gets tied closed once we put our closure on. Isn't it fabulous? G. Kerr, so smart. Diane Shaw, so smart. And I took their ideas and went a little further with it and made it giant, because who doesn't want a giant journal? So those are the basic mechanics. That shows you how to put it together. And I will come back in another video and we will make the signatures and maybe do some decorating. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I really appreciate it. And being forgiving now that I forgot how to make a journal, or how I forgot to make a video. But I'll get back into it, and I will see you all real soon. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks for playing.